What is it?
Yeah, totally.
Did you write?
Did you write most of the songs for Fortress, like just at home on a guitar, doing like little demos, and then took it to the studio, or did most of the writing process happen over there?
No, I did a lot of it at home, working in like GarageBand, and I would kind of make pretty fully realized demos with a lot of parts.
Oh yeah, it's actually kind of funny because somebody asked me like, so what is that like? You know, to sort of because when you're working, I mean, at least now when you work on a computer and you're looking at a grid and it's like 4 bars, you just keep looping, and then like those 4 become like 8, become like 6, and then you're just slowly building, and like you keep listening to the same thing. And if you're always in a position where you can track and record, like those bars will just keep building up until it's like a full 4-minute song. But if not, like, you know, for like 3 weeks I'm listening to the same minute loop, you know, just kind of like, yeah, okay, all right, you know. Weird. It's like I've always had that thing with like, so verse 1 is, you know, like the declarative statement, like, all right, I've got a vibe for the song, right? And then for verse 2, you know, you sort of, you know, like you write it, and yeah, like it feels like just complete non sequitur, you know, like where is that going, or like why is this, you know, supposed to be sort of tying into it? And I hear it in a lot of songs where like the first part of it tells you what it is, and then the second half's just like, and I'll hold your hand, baby, or just like some random weird, you know, like thing that doesn't really make any sense, but it's just kind of like, I already kind of got out, you know, so it's good to have just like a full concept for it, so you can just keep like riffing on it and just, you know, stay in the narrative.
I should have taken acid with you. Second verse, I want to hold you, baby.
It could have been I want to hold you, baby, but no, I just, I mean, with that, it was at least it should have taken acid with you. There was so much repetition that I could at least think of 4. I mean, and that was the thing. Within those 4 statements that the song even says, it had to just completely like summate the song, right? Like just say everything I wanted to say about it. You know, it's just like the, you know, melting tongues and the taking clothes off and the swing. I mean, once I had those like 4 key points, it's like, all right, the song feels finished. You know, like it tells the story. You know. So I feel like if you have ideas and then immediately you're just presented with all these great resources and like, yeah, you can make it sound great, but
sitting down to actually saying like, okay, sit down and write a song in the studio where it's kind of, you know.
I mean, I kind of like to just work with like no sort of like time limitations and then just in complete isolation. You know? I mean, unless it's like collaborative, then it's, you know, a lot of fun, but just to really sort of draw very transparent and honest song ideas, it's gotta just be, in fact, I mean, that's why I'm leaving New York to even record this record, just because, you know, there's like too many friends out here. You know, it's like it would just be this massive distraction all the time. And I mean, as much as I love New York, it is kind of one of those things where like you try to stay in, and then you almost feel guilty because there's so many things happening. You know, severing that communication just for a little bit is it's always really healthy, at least. And it's weird because like, I mean, that was kind of the circumstances that all led to Psychic Chasms. Was just, you know, having literally this 3 or 4 month period where I wasn't really hanging out with any of my friends because everyone was either busy with school or like I didn't know that many people in Austin yet. So you know, I essentially just fell into this position where I needed to like write something, otherwise I was just going to go completely stir crazy.
Did you demo for that, or were you just basically, as you were writing that, became the album?
Pretty much the writing became the album, and that's like that's what I come to find when I'm working on my own as opposed to in a studio, is that the ideas get fully actualized. Like it's really weird to sort of work on songs in like increments, because I do that all the time. Like the problem with being on tour or just like or doing stuff in a studio is you'll finish like half of the song. It's like I've got this minute and a half. I don't know where to take it from there. So you know, by the time that you sit down with the song and then you try to complete it, it feels a little bit more forced, you know, because it wasn't part of the initial spark. Like with Psychic Chasms, like I remember the first track after Should Have Taken Acid With You was like 6 hours or something. It was like really weird. It was like, whoa, I've got the song. And then 6669 was like, all right, I've got this entire day. And that was the first, like when I realized I was going to write a record, that was like the first track that came out. And I mean, yeah, like if I can just sit down with it and just, you know, like I won't want to stop until it's pretty much, you know, close to finished. So, you know, started at noon, and the next thing I knew it was like 6 in the morning the next day, and it's like, wow, I've got that one song, and then it just went from there and there. So,